Hello, everyone. This is the Gears of Steam podcast where we talk about all the weird and wonderful things within the steampunk and sci fi genres. I am your host, Raven Ashmore, engineer and scientist, and my guest here today is Dr. George Miller Hoctor.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. George Miller Hoctor with the Army Toy Soldiers.
Yes, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, a little bit charred up. Steve dropped another mixtape in the lab, and we're currently getting the fires out still. There were many hamsters lost in that fire.
No, it's quite dreadful. So, yes, anywho, on a lighter note. So, obviously, you have a lot of stuff that you do. So, if I can just start. You said that you're part of the Army of Toy Soldiers. Can you, expand upon that?
Well, the official rank for me would be Engineer Grade 2. Essentially, I make different props and a variety of costumes, mainly for my own personal use. I've never really sold anything, as I've never really opened up a proper place to have commissions made. Plus, also, I feel that my craft can be improved upon to the point of where eventually I may sell things, but it's still learning. But then I also do videos and such. I have my own main channel, George Hoctor YouTube, which is just a nice little place for some PSAs, some updates, different fun little things to do. And then we have Gaming Hoctor, which is me playing a variety of games, some series, and then I have a series of one-off gaming where essentially it's just random games, just nothing to do with any relation with each other. And I'm currently working on three episode playlists, really, which are Skyrim, Pokemon Uncensored, and what's that last one? Well, I can't forget. I can't remember the last one. It'll probably come to me halfway through this podcast.
Yes. So, obviously, you do quite a lot of stuff, and your content is definitely it's very good.
Oh, thank you. I don't know why so many people apparently like my ranting and screaming and general confusion, but it works. Don't know why, but it works, and if it's not broken, then don't try to fix it. Unless it breaks, then you have to fix it, whatever.
Yes, many things break in my workshop. Anyways, so obviously you said that you create costume stuff and props. What kind of stuff have you created, and what kind of stuff will you create?
Well, my most recent creation is something that I'm very proud of. It's a giant mallet. So, there's a little bit of a backstory with this. Ever since I was a child and I watched the classic Looney Tune cartoons, I always loved the products from that great company, Acme. And so, one product that really stuck out to me was the giant mallet. And I don't know where in my mind I had this thought, but there was a voice in my head that said, I need that mallet. And so, after a lot of, work and everything, I finally found the right materials that I would need to make this mallet. And it's been a very good prop of mine. If I ever get the chance to get these materials again, I'll probably remake it or make it for another person, again, for commission type deal. But that's just whatever the future holds.
Yeah, I quite admire that mallet. It is definitely a work of art.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, as a man, I am a man of who specializes in weaponry. I'm not so familiar with the melee style, but I definitely find this one is quite amusing.
Yes. Whenever I'm fighting, well, in the rare moments that I do have a fight or anything, I actually take a bit more of a comical approach to it. Uh, Confuse the enemy, so this way they will be befuddled, and pretty much just go all out insanity. I follow the work of Acme and Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, all those classic cartoon characters that are just loony and zany and toony and everything in between. So it's really just a fun comedic style. It's nice entertainment and also a great fighting style for me.
Yes, because it can be highly unpredictable.
Yeah.
Um, Now, I know this. You have a robot, right? Isn't it called Steve? Yes.
Yes, that's Steve. He's currently a head, and I'm
Oh,
going to be making the body as soon as I can, but that'll just be when I get ahead of of my schedule.
I see. Yes, I'm not really one who's good with robotics. I'm more specialized in weaponry and defense system for airships. Is kind of my job, but it's pretty cool. He's an alright guy.
Yeah, he's been a very good companion. I even have him on my computer. He runs my Skype, so he's really the whole reason why we're staying connected in the first place.
Yes, with a lot of science and a lot of dimension jumping, and Steve.
Yes, and Steve.
So, like, you do a gaming channel, as you said, and I was thinking, like, what kind of games are you thinking of doing?
Well, if I had to choose personally, I want to do games that really are adventurous and very immersive. I love a good immersion game. Simulator games are especially my favorite. However, it seems my audience just loves seeing me scream and have mass hysteria. With Five Nights at Freddy's, and even on the main channel when I was watching Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And it's just one of those things. Apparently, confusion is the best comedy I've found. So it really depends on my audience. It's really just up to them. That's why at the end of every video, I always make sure to ask them to comment down below what game they want me to see play. Because then I can be able to find out what games they do like. I can be able to find related games and also get that game too. I always like to serve my audience and make sure they get high quality and great gaming, followed by mass hysteria and screaming, per usual.
Ah, yes. Yes, I definitely find your stuff quite good because you play a lot of games I would never probably hear about. And which is kind of cool because then I see the gaming industry from a completely different angle.
Yes, I always want to. Sorry about that. My airship seems to have started up on its own. Anyway, I always make sure to bring great content to my audience. I try to do something that's not been done by the big gamers because, and frankly, I will every so often get one of those moments where it's a game that someone else has played, but it's mainly because it's just one of those things. It's a popular game that needs to be caught up on, and if it's at the height of its popularity, that'll be good for me because then I'll get more viewers and I'll be able to have more people that want to see all this other stuff that I do.
Yes. Um, also wanted to say, um, sorry, my brain's not working apparently. This is what happens when you have spent 4 hours not drinking coffee. Unfortunately, my body fully runs off coffee.
I enjoy tea.
Oh, you're a tea lover.
Yes.
Miss
I'm a fan of the leaf.
Miss McKeown's would definitely like your company. She is an owner of a tea company near Bangor, which is near where I live. She makes the most delicious tea. But I'm more of a coffee man, me. She doesn't like me because of that. I don't know why.
Get out.
But
No, I'm kidding. This is your podcast. If anything, you can kick me out.
I was just about to say, I'll just go grab my minigun and show you the front door. Anyway. Yeah. Also, like, what kind of genre of gaming do you like most?
If I had to choose a genre, I would have to say, God, that's a good one. Really, I love them all. If I had to choose a genre, though, definitely mystery. I always love a good mystery, something that keeps the brain going. And it's different games like Five Nights at Freddy's actually does have a little bit of mystery, but it's focused more on the jump scares and the horror, so I can't really call it my favorite game.
Mm.
But if I had to choose a favorite genre, that would be mystery. If I had to choose a favorite game, there are, of course, many games. I could never really choose one. It's like choosing a child. But I would have to say my favorite game created that I've yet to play, but I do want to play, is Minecraft. Because it gives a sense of creativity. It's a nice, large sandbox world. People can create whatever they dream of with just these various blocks. And I've seen some of the most amazing things in these worlds. And of course, I hope to get it for my PC as soon as I can and create my own custom skin so I can be able to join in on the Minecraft fun and possibly even build my own maps.
Yes. I definitely find it quite a fun game. I've played it for many years. People don't know. Yes, maybe I'm from the 1800s, but because I have access to a friend who has a time-traveling machine, anything is possible. And yeah, I've played it quite a lot. It's definitely one of my more kind of favorite games. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's definitely on this kind of top list.
Right.
Also, I want to ask something.
Okay.
So, you're a doctor, right? So, where did that come from? Just asking.
Well, it's more of a name than an actual title. I'm crazy. Of course, I mean, it's official. I have paperwork and everything on it. I even have my own certificate, which I have. I think it's inside Steve's head. I'm not sure. But, being crazy allows me to do whatever I want. If I want to be called Dr. Hoctor, then so be it. I'm crazy, and most madmen are called doctor. Even the normal doctors that give you the shots and the injections and inspections, detections, rejections, all that different stuff. And those people are the worst. Kids, remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But for me, I like a good Fuji apple, nice and juicy.
I see. Yeah, people say that I'm not a real scientist, but look, I mess around with electromagnets. I can make a railgun. I think that's technically called being a physicist, I think. Or something. Yeah.
It's called being a madman.
Yes!
But a very good madman, so that makes you a scientist. And if anyone disagrees with you, blast them.
Yes, with my newly made railgun.
Yes.
So, like, I want to ask, so, I'm trying to think of a way to word this that makes sense because some people don't understand what I say. You, how did you find the Army of Toy Soldiers?
God, that's been so long. It's actually, let's see, today's the 11th, if I'm correct, the 12th. On the 23rd, it'll actually be my 3rd year with TSU. And it's been a very good experience. And I remember, God, it's been so long. Wait, I remember now. I was very much into the steampunk industrial scene. And so I was listening to people like Abney Park and Steam Powered Giraffe. Well, all of a sudden, I always kept seeing this one name on my YouTube list for the different videos I was watching, Dr. Steele. And I was like, I don't know, maybe later, you know. Eventually, I saw it so many times, I was like, okay, you apparently really want me to watch this, so let's give it a shot. And I believe the video was the first episode of the Dr. Steele show, and ever since I've been hooked. But then I found out that this man, this insane man, had his own fan group. When I found out, though, it wasn't exactly a fan group. It was more of a movement, a created group made to make his dream possible, the Army of Toy Soldiers. Of course, he retired in 2005, and I really didn't get a chance to get to meet and know him. However, his idea still goes on, and it's because of this idea that I've been with TSU ever since, to make the world a better place through fun, happiness, creativity, and baked goods, of course.
Yes.
Baked goods are a very important part of TSU.
Yes. Yeah, I did when actually I found him a lot long after my first time jumping to the 21st century. I think it was 2013. No, it's a little bit before that because then I came back and enlisted in the army. But I found him and I found him quite peculiar. He was definitely because I was completely new to the whole like modern, what you call like present, and I was completely memorized by this man because he was doing something that I had never seen before. And well, after I found out that he had stepped down from being the leader of the toy soldiers, I was quite sad. But I joined the army because of him, but I stay because of the people, because they are like a second family, and that's
Yes, I've seen the army of toy soldiers as a second family to me too. Um, Dutch has also been very helpful in all of my work. He's the one who showed me how to use Vegas Pro and Photoshop, and so really, without him, I probably wouldn't even have a channel. It's because of him that I learned most of this stuff, and of course, Google.
yes.
Google has been uh, a very good advancement. Speaking of, you didn't have Google in your time.
No, we had a library.
Yes, a library with books. I do love libraries, though.
Yes.
They're nice and quiet, and you can always find a good book.
I find that public areas, apparently, I stick out like a sore thumb. It might be because I have a robotic arm, but it's kind of common in my time. Though, not so much in the future, apparently, but nah, I prefer my study.
Yeah, I don't know if you've. Well, you were probably around when he time jumped. I don't know if you know a man by the name of Doc Brown, but essentially he's a time traveler like yourself, and they even made a movie based on all of his adventures. And so 2015 was supposed to be the year that we get like robot arms and jetpacks and hoverboards and flying cars and everything. We kind of screwed up on that.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
See,
We have something close to it, or we have something close to a hoverboard, but it's not really a hoverboard. It's just a Segway without the handle. That's really the only thing it
the
is.
hoverboard is a lie!
Yes, it is a lie. It has wheels, and a hoverboard hovers, not on wheels, on air. It lies.
Well, I've learned, actually, with the device I'm using right now to actually talk to you, is apparently it is quite a complicated piece, but I'll try and keep it short. A scientist, a friend of mine, whose name shall be kept secret due to the fact he doesn't want to be, let's just say, targeted, gave me this device which can jump a signal through space-time and dimension, so I think that's how this is working. Basically, I think it means there might be a multiverse. I don't know how it works or how that was, so your future might be different than my future, which my past might be different than your past. It's quite confusing. I don't try to think about it too much in case, I go a little bit off kilter again.
Yes, there was this madman. Forget his name, but he was a doctor also, and I met up with him, and we actually did travel to another dimension. It was a dimension where lizard people roamed the earth. Quite interesting, actually. There was T-Rexes and this weird hairy thing. I don't even know what it was. It said its name was Chaka, something like that. I don't even know what that was. It was probably him trying to speak, but I don't really know. Anyway, after mulling around that dimension for a little bit, I became the ruler of it, and then I stepped down and gave my crown to a lizard named Paul, and then we came back to that dimension just in time for tea.
Yeah.
That man was very insane, but he had a very nice bow tie.
Most men who are insane are pretty interesting anyway. Most of my friends are, at least.
Insanity is a great gift. It opens up the mind and allows for creativity to flow naturally.
Yes, precisely. have you actually? I want to ask. Have you ever time traveled within your dimension? Should I say?
No. In this dimension, we have yet to figure out time travel. I do hope that that will change, and we can be able to further expand on the idea of going back or forward into time. Because then I can be able to go back and make some very smart investments,
Mm.
and then become rich,
Yes.
and then use that money to rule the world.
Yes, like you do. Unfortunately, that plan that I actually planned the first time that I found out that time travel was possible, apparently there's this society called the Secret Society of Time that has a bunch of rules about time travel, and basically whoever is a member of the society cannot be named, otherwise the society will be kicking you up the A. Yeah, the it's not the first time they've tried to chase me down.
Oh no, I can imagine. I think I actually saw your face on a wanted poster in a book I was reading about the 1900s.
Oh God, not again. Yeah, that was not a good time. I'd rather not talk about it. Yeah, I'm as in a lot of time periods, I am known as a tyrant. Apparently, the way that I live is not acceptable in society. So, apparently, you're not allowed to steal someone else's hat and then use it to hit them with it. But that, yeah, okay. Apparently, it's called assault.
Well, they call it assault. I call it knocking fashion sense into them.
Yes. So, I'm trying to think here. So, obviously, you and I have already played a few games together. And you've played a few games with my future friends. As well as I with them. Oh god, I'm going all confused again. Yes,
Time travel does that.
yeah, dimensions, time travel, you kind of lose it after a while. I don't even know what concept of time I am in anymore. I think it's 1895. I think. Though it could be 1950, I don't know. Anywho, so yes, you and I have played more video games together, and, well, they have been quite fun. Usually involves me giggling a lot.
Yes, you giggling and me screaming combines very nicely.
And then me giggling at you screaming. Yes, I can't help it.
It's a nice dynamic we have.
Yes. Trying to think. If there was any other games that you could play in multiplayer with other people, I or anyone else, what kind of games would they be and who with?
Well, I don't know if when you were in this time you were able to see any of the internet. Of course, you could probably surf the web with your device that you're using right now. Am I correct?
Yes.
So, probably the big names: Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, Sky Does Minecraft. They're all very nice people that I would love to be able to game with. And did you ask what games I would play with them?
Yes.
Well, I would just play any game, really, as long as I get to hang out with them and, get to know them, be friends with them and everything. I love making new friends, especially if it's with people that are well known.
Yes. I have found that in the future with the internet, with the Markiplier and stuff, they are definitely quite nice people, and honestly, I would love to have a little conversation with them. Talk about all the lovely games that they played and will play, because they do good stuff.
Yes, and I believe that you also spoke with a steampunker time traveler who is currently staying in the present, Professor Elemental, if I'm correct.
Oh, yes. Now, the thing with time is, technically to you, I will speak to him, but to me, I've already spoken to him. But the way that I have to do it is to... it's in my past, but in your future, because... how do I think? Calculate. It should be... so if you're in the modern time, and if I'm... Okay, isn't calculating of time difference... It is in January 2016, I think. Yes. Is that right? Yes. Hopefully around that time, if the past me works that out, we'll have it posted by then on the internet using said device.
This will be very interesting. I'm a big fan of Professor Elemental, so I guess go back in time and leave a note for your past self to say hi to him for me.
I
I
shall.
think, if
I
that
shall.
works. I don't know.
Yes. I can't directly speak to myself because then that would cause a paradox and, well, we wouldn't want to cause that. But I will try and get somebody else to at least give me a wee nudge.
Of course.
Yes, so time is quite complicated and my mind is always muddled. I want to ask this because you did say something about taking over the world. If you could and were able to take over the world and maybe succeeded, what would be your next step? If you're already like leader of the whole entire world, what would you do next?
Well, I suppose this is my World Emperor campaign speech.
Pretty much.
Well, first off, I would do my best to change the world for what it is currently. You've seen the world that I'm in. It is less than satisfactory. I would try to help out all the poor countries that need help. Definitely try for world peace and make fun and creativity the top priority, as the focus of Toy Soldiers Unite. It's really just a focus of life. Happiness is the most important thing. And if you're not happy in your life, then something is severely wrong.
Yes. I can completely agree. But people may not know, but actually there is a conflict between Ireland and England in my time, not your time, in my dimension, but maybe not in your dimension from, I think. And, God, if I was in charge, what I would do is just... I would just stop it all. And it's a little bit of a hindrance on my business. I do own a airship maintenance company, workshop, and it's halved my like production, and it's just, and I know it's a bit cold-hearted talking about business, but I've got a life. I need money. I can't make the things that I wish to make anymore. It's just this meaningless fighting. It's just so frustrating. Yes, I know that the English want to keep Ireland because they've already lost America, and can't we just live together in peace?
Yeah, I don't understand why war is really even a thing. It's basically just two countries just going, I want to win. No, I want to win. I'm better. No, I'm better. And then, boom, nuclear. It's a bit annoying. But, I did actually just now think of something. If you're needing business and this podcast will be set into my present, your future, then, well, my present, your past, I suppose. I'm not sure what time it is currently for you. But what I'm wanting to know is why is it that you're advertising your business in the future when you should be advertising it in the past?
I don't know. Look, I don't know. Think time works in weird and wonderful ways because technically this podcast is being broadcasted among several different time streams as well as different dimensions. As we did an episode with the Emperor of the Red Fork Empire, and God, he knows about dimension jumping. That was a very confusing episode. I don't even remember half of it. Yes.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Time travel is just, in general, confusing.
Yeah, I'm an expert in electronics, electromagnetics, and in weaponry, and trying to learn about quantum physics is like trying to read a manual that's written in Latin. It's not easy. Yeah. But I've never thought of it in that way. I've never like, I'm not really advertising, I'm just kind of explaining, like, my business is running a little thin at the moment due to the fact that I can't repair any English ships because the town that I live in is in Ireland. And the conflict is between the Irish and the English. So, yeah.
It is a bit annoying.
Plus, the English technically want me arrested because apparently I aided the Irish. I didn't aid the Irish, I just stopped them, the English, from destroying my town. It's all I did. I'm neutral on this stance, and I will say it again and again. I swear to God, Victoria, I am not backing down! Sorry.
Well then. That escalated quickly.
Sorry. I'm having a
That's
moment.
fine, that's fine. I'm known to have my own random outbursts. I try to keep calm and level-headed, but every so often I can lose my mind. Brain test. But,
Sorry. Sorry.
are you alright? You seem to be having some kind of audio issue. Hello? Hello, hello. Hello.
Sorry. Nothing. It's perfectly fine. I just accidentally pushed a button.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
Yes. Well, if there was a message to the audience that you wish to give, what would... This is your moment to basically say something to the audience. I shall let you carry on.
My dear podcast audience, first off, I would like to thank you for making it this far into whatever we've been doing. First off, please visit my channels at Hoctor Gaming and George Hoctor, the main channel, because I want you to laugh, have fun, and secondly, I want you to be creative. Don't stand for whatever you're going through right now. Make sure to make your life a good one, a happy one, a successful one. You don't want to be working some 9-to-5 boring job making the minimum wage that you need to just barely survive. You want to thrive. You want to live. You want to succeed. And so, I tell you, have fun. Be creative. Do what you want to do in life. And you will be happy.
Thank you. Well, we have come to the end of this, podcast. So, this is Raven Ashmore, engineer and scientist, ending the broadcast of The Gears of Steam. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.
Make sure to buy cookies.
Yes, buy many cookies. Bye then.